I wanted to do a couple more online auctions this week, but I can't. I have too many things in piles that I need to get listed. Some people call this a death pile. I call it my procrastination pile. And the only reason they end up in this pile is because either they need some kind of repair, like I have a duvet cover on the table there, and it just needs some buttons. Well, it's been 6 months, so clearly I'm not going to put the buttons on. We just need to get it listed. Or sometimes they end up in my procrastination pile because I don't know enough about it and I'm worried about pricing. So for example, I have a couple of pieces of art that I think are worth some money, but I don't really know exactly how much. However, they're really not worth anything sitting in a room waiting to get listed. So this is it. We're down to crunch time. We're going to get all this stuff out of my dining room and get it listed online or get it in the car and leave it somewhere else. So let's take a look and see what's in our pile. All right, the first thing I've got to take care of is this duvet cover. And I found the tag from when I bought it. It looks like it was on sale from $8 for $6. It says full, but I often find that the thrift stores get confused about how to measure a duvet cover. I think it's most likely a queen, which would be excellent. Now this pattern is called Acacia. It's a Calvin Klein pattern, and the new comforter sets are selling for about $450 for a king size. There is not another duvet cover listed in this size in full or queen, so I can't go wrong there. Now the reason I didn't list this, I've washed it, I've ironed it, all of that happened, but the buttons had some cracks on them, just a few of them. I don't know if I can pull them out. But anyway, they had some chips on it, and I thought I would go ahead and get them replaced. I never did, so I need to just admit it's not going to happen and move on. This will sell with the defects for probably $80 or $90. Not bad. Okay, the next item is a pair of pants. Really seems like no big deal. And the reason I've procrastinated is they're an Italian brand, and I won't entertain you by butchering that name because it's oddly pronounced. You can tell the quality is very good. They're a little bit unusual in that I think they say they're a size 32 or 33, but the inseam only measures at a 30. But these pants, I'm pretty sure, sell for over $100, so it's a waste just sitting in a pile. Now we already know how I love linens, and this is interesting to me. When I saw this at the thrift store, I think I paid $2.50 for it. I thought, gee, that looks like a Ralph Lauren sheet, but the quality didn't seem quite as good as usual, but the pattern definitely did. And so I checked into it. It turns out that this one is a Chaps Ralph Lauren, which is a diffusion brand of Ralph Lauren. And so Chaps in general doesn't sell really well, but a lot of very specific things do. And fortunately for me, this Lauren Nantucket pattern will probably sell for, I'm going to say $65 for this queen sheet. There's not another one listed. The fitted sheet sold for, I believe, $130 or something close to that. So fitted sheets are harder to find, the old ones, so they tend to carry a little bit more value. So again, that's a silly thing not to just get listed. I need to do it. These other things, I think I procrastinated because they're more winter related, but I need to at least get them in draft mode and let them sit until maybe the end of August, beginning of September. These are company store flannel pillowcases. In about August, people will buy them for around the holiday seasons. And I think I paid, 50 cents for these. 50 cents. And it looks like I got them at the beginning of last month, which isn't too bad, but I definitely need to get rid of these. These came from an estate sale I went to a while ago. I paid $5 for the set. They are king size vintage Laura Ashley flannel sheets. I checked comps, but I need to go back and use Terapeak because clearly flannel sheets right now are not selling for the same value they do in the winter. So that's why I've procrastinated. And we've just got a couple of other things there. Overall, you can see I'm not as bad about getting the linens listed, but I still need to get these on board because there's some good money in there. Okay. And over here, this I've had, I don't know, for probably 6 months. And I really feel like it would sell so much better with a frame, but there was a couple of issues with it. One, you can see this creasing. It had never been hung and it was stored in a bag. And so I've tried putting flat things on it to kind of lay it out. The only thing I think I can do at this point is put it in a glass frame, which I really hate to do with textile art, but that would kind of keep the pressure on it and keep those creases out. Mushrooms right now are just such a hot decorating thing that this is probably 1960s, 1970s here. And this is something that will sell easily, so I need to get it listed. This turned out to be a pickup. It was panda bears, very popular in the 60s and 70s. And I think that's when Ling Ling came to the zoo in the United States. I can't remember her boyfriend, but anyway, this isn't gonna sell for much at all. I just need to get that up and out there. This is just a piece of pottery. I remember I got this at 50% off for $4. And the reason is I didn't notice there was a crack there. So I have to either list it as broken or just get rid of it. It's a nice piece of pottery. It's the Aspen Pottery Company. And so it's kind of a shame about that, but that happens sometimes. A certain amount of things I pick up have flaws in them and I don't notice. Okay, this is marked Michelle Lazaro, and it's a hand-blown piece of glass artwork for perfume. It's missing the little pump at the end, so I'm not sure how that's going to go over, but I'll look into that. I think that this could be worth a lot of money, and so I definitely need to do something with this soon. All right, a few more random items here. These cups are marked Majestic. I can't find a whole lot about the Majestic company. I got them at the end of May for 50 cents, which isn't that long ago, but I still need to get rid of them. And I actually have 7 of them. They're all in different colors. I tried to do a Google search on them, but the Fiesta ware keeps coming up. These are actually made of a hard plastic, and a lot of things by this brand were made of acrylic. These are not. They're very sturdy cups. They've got a little bit of staining in there, so I need to work on that. There's 7 of them. I have no idea how to price it because I've only been able to find a handful of things by this company. And so we'll just get them cleaned up and get them up there because doing something with it is better than just having them sitting in my house. Okay, this next thing is kind of interesting. It was $1. I love things that are $1. This is kind of cool. I guess this went in some kind of restaurant or store, and you can see right here, it has the Western Union and the National Fuel Emergencies number. I checked, it looks like these were in upstate New York and in Pennsylvania. And so there are people who collect these old telephony kind of things. And so I don't have any idea what I'll list this for, but I've had this, I'm going to say probably for 4 or 5 months now. This is definitely time to do something with it. The artwork is really where I'm procrastinating. It's because I have a hard time valuing items that I don't know anything about, and sometimes there's not anything else like it listed. The other reason is I kept saying I'm going to get some frames, and I just would never bring the measurements with me, and so they were just sitting there, some of them for over a year or maybe about a year. And so I got some of these done, but some of these I still have to do. I got the Sally Ellington chipmunk one done. This bunny over here with On Some Days Humor is Everything. It's a hand-painted frame. It's very cool. It originally sold on auction for $2.50. It is signed and has information on the back, but I don't know exactly what to do with it. I paid $10, so I'm hoping to sell it for at least $75. Over here are some very cool mid-century carved wood frames. They're made in Mexico. I have some larger ones also. Then I did get this little chicken one listed. But then this is made by a woman named, I don't know if you pronounce her name, Virginia Coley or Coyle. And her original pieces are selling for about $400. This is an original made in 2015. So again, it's one of those things. I'm not sure what to do with it. I haven't seen another one listed. So I'm not sure if it's worth money because there aren't others listed, or people just don't have a lot of interest in them. It's very cool. It's some kind of little town in Massachusetts. I don't think Cape Cod, but maybe around that area. So, but the ones with value are on the table. Let's go look at those. Okay, I picked this one up for $5 at a Habitat store in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And I will say that at first I walked right past it because this was pressed under glass. So it just looked like an old printed painting. And then it was in the $5 pile, so I took a closer look. And sure enough, it is crewel. And it sells for a lot of money, these kind of pieces. Some of them upwards over $100. And, you know, most of them sell for at least $30, but some of them up to even over a couple $100. This one I did get listed. I listed it for $115. I also listed it on Chairish because I think this is the kind of piece that would sell there well. I took the glass off and I took one of the mats off so that it really was much more pronounced. And it's a beautiful piece. So I think this will sell. I might end up going under 100 for it, but that's okay. This beautiful piece I got for $1. I got it right here locally. It was just kind of stuck on the wall with tape on it. And then I looked carefully and I realized that although it had a printed signature, it also had an original signature. So I looked it up, and this is Michael Eisman. I think that's how you pronounce it. And he is an Israeli artist. I saw some of his prints are listed for $100, $200, $300. But I did see one on Chairish that just recently sold for $500. And there are some that are listed for $700 to $800. I think I'll probably list this one for $300 because at this point, I would like to just get things listed and out. I'm trying to find a frame because this one will do much better just because of the way they stored it at the store. You can see there's some creases on the corner. So I think matting it would really help. But other than that, there's no damage at all. So this is beautiful. I'm excited about this one. Okay, and this one I think is the piece I've had the longest. I paid $5 for it. It's a Charles Peterson print. It's a print. And the reason I procrastinated on this is some of his prints I've seen sell for $1,000, and some of them only sell for $99. It seems like the ones from this era, these older ones, sell for a little bit more. But what's unusual about this one is it is not numbered. It's not an artist proof because it's not marked AP on it. But even though it's a print, it's the last one in the series. It says that on the back. But instead of numbering it, he put an anchor on it. So I don't know if that gives it more value. I think that's kind of cool. So I really need someone to help me understand that. Who? I'm not sure. But anyway, even if I never find out, it doesn't matter at this point. I just need to get this listed before it gets damaged. It already has a little kind of wrinkle spot in here somewhere. I don't know if I can find it again. It's so insignificant, but I just want to be careful with this, and it's just beautiful. So I hope it finds a new home soon. All right, that lovely pile isn't as scary as it could be. This is just some purses in here. There's some good ones, a nice leather bag, a sack purse, and then there's some clothing, not a lot of clothing. And then there's just a couple of crochet blankets there. And that I'm not as worried about because it looks like I might have been setting that stuff aside for Christmas. But over here is where we got some money items that I really need to get up and running. So this first mirror I actually bought for myself, and it is, it's a very heavy mirror. It's made in North Carolina. Now, the reason I'm procrastinating on this is I can't tell if it's mahogany or walnut. I think it's walnut, but I don't want to be wrong and list it and somebody expects to get furniture that's walnut. So hopefully I'll be able to find somebody that can assist me so I can just get this out of my house. It didn't end up fitting in the space I thought it would, so I have to let it go. Now, this one over here, this Regency style mirror, let me kind of flip us around this way so we can look at the whole thing. This is the Carolina Mirror Company, and they're out of our area out of North Carolina. I got it for $45. It was originally $65. I'm not sure why they marked it down right away. And I did see a couple of these recently sell. On the low end, this style sold for in the 200s. On the high end, there are some selling for 500. There's some listed for 700, but I think that's too high. And so, but again, it's not worth anything just sitting in my dining room. So we're gonna get that going, and hopefully pretty soon. This other item I listed, and this is where my quick decisions sometimes have consequences. This I picked up for $5. It is a German high chair, and they sell really well, but what a shipping nightmare. So I did this one for local pickup only, and hopefully somebody in my area is looking for this height chair. I guess it's kind of cool because it's convertible. You can later use it as just a seat, and the bottom is adjustable so you can bring the legs up and down. If you have a baby, there's a piece there to hook the little chair in so they sit all safely. So we got to work on that too. Okay, this piece right here is a vintage stool. Now the reason it's in my procrastination pile is somebody replaced the cushion at some point, and it's cute for a little girl, agreed. But this came from Target, this cover, and it's really not suitable to sell it for a bit of money. So I was able to find some vintage, this is a Anjou Woodbridge. I don't know if that's the pattern name or the brand. That's a nice sturdy fabric. That'll look very pretty on there. I just need to go ahead and get it done. And so that's why it's still sitting there. This last little bit of my pile are the vintage purses, and I think I overpaid for them. They're really, you know, on the low end, some of them will sell for $15. Some of those nicer beaded purses, they're vintage Hong Kong, they might sell for $30. And again, I'll probably put those in draft mode and keep them for closer to the holiday. Or maybe some people take those to weddings, I don't know. So looking at all this, it doesn't seem that bad probably to some people, but this is more than I usually have. And also, it's just that a lot of this stuff is a little bit time consuming in terms of figuring out shipping and pricing. And so I think that's really contributed to my procrastination. I do feel good because I feel like I'm going to get this done. And it's been kind of fun going through this with you. So I just want to say thanks for listening. And hopefully we'll get this pile cleared out and then be able to get back on the road again. So we'll talk soon. Bye.